Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is jennhanft and I am going to show you a get ready with me. This is my everyday no makeup look with an extra glow. I've been told a lot that I get a very dewy goddess look, and I'm going to share with you exactly how I achieve that. Honestly, I don't do a lot for my everyday makeup, so my highlighter be poppin', I guess. If you want to find out how to sport this look, then stay tuned. Alright, so the first step is to start off with a clean face. I already cleansed, I put toner on, I put my serum, my moisturizer, and now my face is kind of set for a while. So it's kind of dry, which is great because the first step you want to do, go in with a primer. Using Dermalogica's Hydro Blur Primer. And I dab that onto my face. So here I'm really taking the primer and just dotting it all over my face and then rubbing it in to make sure that it gets everywhere. I put it over my eyebrows and my eyelids just to give it extra coverage. So now that your primer is all set in and your face feels super matte and smooth, then you're going to go in with tinted moisturizer. I love using Laura Mercier's oil-free tinted moisturizer in the color Bisque. So now I just go in and dot my face with the tinted moisturizer, and then I make sure I blend it all with my beauty blender. I typically don't apply any product to my forehead because I feel like I don't need it. Okay, now that it's all blended in, it looks great. What I do is I actually go in with MAC's Studio Fix pressed powder, and the shade that I'm using is in NC40, and I just dab it all around my face. I go in with NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the color Macadamia. I apply 2 strokes under each eye. Then, taking my beauty blender, I blend that bad boy in to cover my under eye bags. I go in with Laura Mercier's powder, translucent powder. Forgot the name for a second. And I just dab it in with a beauty blender. Then next up, contouring. I like to use Kat Von D's Shade and Light palette. I go in with this color right here. It is called Shadow Play. So I go in with Shadow Play, and I'm using a Sephora brush. It's an Airbrush Precision foundation brush, but I use it for contouring. So I dab a little bit in there and I tap it against here. And then I start from like this corner down and I feather it out. That looks really intense. And then I just do kind of circle strokes to kind of blend it out and do it like that. Okay, and then we go in with the other side. I do a line first and then I typically blend it in. And I feel like contouring is very important when you're doing a no makeup look, just because you kind of need dimension in your face. I feel like without it, your face looks pretty flat, and we don't want flat faces. I have a pretty flat face actually. So yeah, I go in like that, and then I actually apply a little bit of the contouring along my face, and just to give it a little more dimension, especially in like the temple areas. And then I go in with this darker color over here, which is called Ombre. So I go in with Ombre, and very lightly because it's so dark. I hit it a little bit, tap, and then I go on the most outer part closer to the ear for the contouring, so that it's kind of like a little darker. And then I tap it, dab it, my bad, I was gonna say tap and dab at the same time. And then I go in with circle strokes just to kind of brush it out a little bit. Yes. And then I do the same thing on the other side, you know. And then, of course, brush it out. Okay, so then what I do, I actually take whatever's left over on my brush and I kind of lightly contour my nose with it, because I got that Asian nose, you know, gotta give it a little definition. Okay, so once I do that, the last thing I do is I take this color right here, which is called Levitation, and I actually use the same brush. I probably shouldn't, but that's what I do. I dab it, and then I do reverse contouring by adding it under my contour to kind of give it more of a defined look. This step is totally not necessary, but I like to do it because it makes it look a little more cleaner. Yeah, so that's it for that palette. Then I go in with this airbrush powder brush from Sephora again. So I like to go in with NARS. This is a blush in the shade Gulu. I probably pronounced that wrong, but you get what I mean. So what I do is I take this brush and I tap it, and then I tap off the excess, and then I apply it to the apples of my cheeks very lightly, just to give it a little color. And then I do the same thing to the other side. Okay. Once I have that little color in, I call it a day with blush. No more blush. Now, I typically go in to do my eyebrows. I use Anastasia's Dip Brow Pomade in dark brown. The first thing I do is I spoolie out my brows. So I actually got my brows microbladed, so that's why they kind of look like I actually have some right now. Before I did this, I had no brows at all, so I'm so thankful that I got them done because I need them. So here I start applying the dip brow to my brows. I first do an outline, and then I do small hair-like strokes inside to give it a nice natural feel. I do a lighter hand on the inner corners to make it more natural, and then I blend it with the spoolie. Recently, I've been going back in with a brow pencil just to kind of go over the dip brow. And what I've been using is Mally Pro Perfect Precision Brow Pencil, and it doesn't even say the color on here actually, but it looks like a very dark brown. So just following the same technique as the dip brow, I go in and I do hair-like strokes to kind of make sure that it's natural, and I fill in everything the dip brow missed. Now that we got some brows, I lastly go in with Eyelure, and this is their Brow Control and Shape Gel, long-lasting fixer gel, and I just touch up my brows just lightly with them so that they stay in place. I found that if I apply this too heavily, I lose part of my brow that I already drew on, so don't do it too hard. Just very lightly go over your brows with this. All right, now that I got brows out of the way, next is the highlight. So I go in with this Tarte brush. It's their contour and highlight brush. I'm not too sure, but I really like using this for highlighter, and I have been using to death Becca. I use Becca's Shimmering Skin Perfector Pressed Powder in Champagne Pop. Mine got destroyed, so it's literally just powder now. So I typically take a little bit and I have to tap it because it comes up a lot in the tip. And then I lightly brush on the highlight a little above, like on the apple of my cheek, and I kind of go in obviously above the contouring. So I take it from like right here and I go all the way up. I also add some to below my eyebrow to give it a little highlight, that extra pop, champagne pop. And then I actually started putting highlight up here because when the sun hits your face, it shows really nicely. I also go in with the nose just very lightly because I found if I do it too much, it kind of looks really weird in person. It's like not nice. And then I go in a little bit. It doesn't seem to take when I apply it to my lip. Oh, look, it just took now. Normally it doesn't really do anything. And then a little bit on the chin. And wow, I'm really glowing. Okay. Now to add it to the other side. Last thing I will do is I will curl my eyelashes because mine are non-existent. Normally I have eyelash extensions, but one, they're an expensive habit, and two, I've just been super lazy and giving my eyes a break to breathe. So I haven't been doing that. So I will go in with my eyelash curler and just curl it out just to give me a little something because, you know, I don't have anything. And I just start curling on both sides. It kind of takes a while because of my non-existent eyelashes, but yeah. The last thing that I do go in with is I take setting spray, and I use Urban Decay's All Nighter setting spray. It is like the best setting spray that you could ever get your hands on. It is a little pricey, but if you want all lasting coverage, go for it. So just spritz that on. And this is the finished look. So hope you enjoyed it.